Because of the box office and sci-fi popularity of the Golden Voyage of Sinbad, which was a great hit in many countries, the producers and directors and participants decided not say a sequel was in the mix, but something kind of a reboot. This was called Sinbad the Eye-Eyed Tiger, and it featured Jane Seymour and one of John Wayne's sons in the lead roles. Now, Sinbad and the Eye-Eyed Tiger, and hopefully it inspired Rocky 3, is a 77 fantasy adventure film directed by Sam Wanamaker and featuring stop-motion effects by Ray Harryhausen. The film stars Patrick Wayne, Tyrone Power, Jane Seymour, and Patrick Troughton. The third and final Sinbad film, released by Columbia. Again, it followed the Seven Voyage of Sinbad in 58 and the Golden Voyage of Sinbad in 73. Now, great cinematography by Ted Moore, produced by Charles H. Neer and Ray Harryhausen, and again, Sam Wanamaker directed. Now, this one in the Kingdom of Sharak. A celebration is taking place for the coronation of Prince Kasim, but Kasim's evil stepmother, Zenobia, places a curse on him just as he is about going to be crowned Caliph. Sinbad, a sailor and Prince of Baghdad, moors at Sharak sometime later, intent on seeking permission from Prince Kasim to marry Kasim's sister, Princess Farah, one R, but finds the city under curfew. Sinbad and his men are offered hospitality by a man named Rafi, but during their meal, one of Sinbad's crew is poisoned, and the rest are attacked by Rafi, who is Zenobia's son. Sinbad defeats him, but Zenobia summons a trio of ghouls, very effective scene, by the way, which attacks Sinbad and his men. Sinbad disposes of the ghouls by crushing them under a pile of huge logs. Now, Sinbad eventually meets with Farah, who believes that Kasim's curse is one of Zenobia's spells, and unless Kasim is cured with 7 moons, Zenobia's son Rafi will become Caliph instead. Sinbad, Farah, and Sinbad's crew set off to find the old Greek alchemist Melanthius, a hermit on the island of Kazgar, who was said to know how to break curses. And Farah brings with her a huge prehistoric baboon, who was really Kasim, transformed by Zenobia's curse. Zenobia and Rafi follow in the boat propelled by the Minotaur, a magical bronze automation created by the sorceress with the appearance of a minotaur. Now, Sinbad and Farah land at Kazgar and find Melanthius and his daughter Dion, who agree to help them. Melanthius says he must travel to the land of Hyperborea, where the ancient civilization of Arimespi once existed. On the way to Hyperborea, Kasim enjoys having Dion's company and develops a love interest towards her. Now, Zenobia uses a potion to transform herself into a seagull to spy as Sinbad. Once aboard the ship, she turns into a miniature human and listens as Melanthius tells Sinbad how to cure Kasim. Alerted by Kasim, Melanthius and Sinbad capture Zenobia. However, her potion vial spills. Melanthius suspects the potion is what transformed Kasim and experiments by feeding some to a wasp. The wasp grows to enormous size and attacks him and Sinbad, but Sinbad kills it. Zenobia uses her potion to once again become a seagull and fly back to her own ship, but not enough potion to let her return to human form. The lower part of her right leg remains the seagull's foot. Now, after a long voyage, Sinbad's ship reaches the North Polar wastelands. Sinbad and his crew trek across the ice to the land of Arimespi, but are attacked by a giant walrus. It destroys most of their supplies and kills 2 of his men, but Sinbad and the others fend it off with spears. Zenobia uses an ice tunnel to reach the land of Arimespi, and she, Rafi, and the Minotaur climb subterranean stairs to emerge in a warm Mediterranean-like valley above. Now, when Sinbad and his crew also reach the valley, but while resting, they encounter a troglodyte, an 8-foot-tall, fur-covered caveman-like being with a single horn at the top of its head. The troglodyte proves not dangerous, but rather friendly. The adventurers name him Trog for short, and he leads them to the giant pyramidal shrine of Arimespi. Zenobia and Rafi arrive at the shrine first, but as she has no key to enter, Zenobia orders the Minotaur to remove a block of stone from the pyramid's wall. He succeeds, but the block crushes the Minotaur and destabilizes the pyramid structure and thus the shrine's power. Now, Sinbad and his friends arrive minutes later and enter the shrine's main chamber, the interior of which is covered in ice and is protected by the guardian of the shrine, a Smilodon frozen in a block of ice. Zenobia orders Rafi to attack Melanthius and is about to stab Dion with a knife, but Rafi is attacked by Kasim and is killed falling down the temple stairs. Momentarily overcome with grief, Zenobia cradles her son while Sinbad and Melanthius raise Kasim into the column of light at the top of the shrine, which breaks the spell on him. Seeing Kasim restored to human form, Zenobia transfers her spirit into a simulaton. Breaking free of its icy prison, Zenobia attacks the group, but Trog engages Zenobia in combat wielding Minotaur's spear. Initially gaining the upper hand, Trog is disarmed, overcome, and unfortunately killed. Sinbad and his men fight against the beast, but find themselves outmatched and Maruf is killed. Zenobia attacks Sinbad, who impales her on Minotaur's spear, killing her. The adventurers flee the temple as it collapses, become burning in snow and ice as the Mediterranean-like atmosphere disappears and is replaced by freezing polar winds. Sinbad, Qasim, Farah, Melanthius, and Dio return home just in time for Qasim to be crowned Caliph. Amidst the celebration, Sinbad and Farah kiss, while the film fades to black and eyes of Zenobia appear on the screen. And Peter Mayhew appears as a Minotaur, which is before around the same time as Star Wars, by the way. Now, the strong box office success of The Golden Voyage of Sinbad led Columbia to begin work on a third Sinbad motion picture with a second still in theatrical release. The plan was to move away from some of the legendary creatures, which had been features of previous films, and use more recognizable prehistoric animals. Now, Schneer had worked with Sam Wanamaker on The Executioner and hired him for this because I wanted actor's director for Eye of the Tiger to see if you get more dimension of otherwise cardboard characters. The technical work was carried out by Ray and me. Now, legendary tall 7'3" performer Peter Mayhew made an unbilled acting debut in the film and some live-acting sequences as a Minotaur, while Patrick Troughton, who played the harpy-plagued blind Phineas in Harryhausen's 63 films, Jason the Argonauts, played the Melanthius. Kurt Christian, who played one of Sinbad's men in The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, switched sides and played Zenobia's evil son, Raffi. Now, Patrick Wayne's casting was announced in May 75, when Columbia said the director would be Wanamaker. Now, Schneer said, I thought we would have some chemistry with John Wayne's son and Tyrone Power's daughter, so I put them together. Pat did the best he could, but frankly, he was only adequate. He had only grown a beard and he looked fine, but as soon as he opened his mouth, we're in trouble. The film went into production under the working title Sinbad and World's End. The live action was filmed in Almeria, Spain, Malta, and Jordan. The treasury house of Al-Khazaneh at Petra makes an appearance in one scene. Several castles near Medina, Malta were used as backdrops for the film and inserted using triple exposure, and scenes of ships at sea were filmed in a huge water tank there. Most interior sequences were shot on the soundstage of Venora Studios near Madrid. Principal filming took place between June and October 75. Some sets were based on previous films in a wide variety of genres. The massive doors in Deadbolt, the ancient shrine of Armispi in the Arctic, were based on a similar set of doors in the original King Kong. The interior of the shrine was very similar to the shrine set in the 35 motion picture She, complete with steep pyramidal steps, a vortex of light coming from above, and its similodon encased in ice. The power source of the shrine of Armispi was actually made of dental floss. Harryhausen and the crew mounted dozens of floss fiber strands around a cylinder-like construction made of gauze, and this was mounted on a revolving mechanism and put in front of black velvet. It was then pulled out of focus to create shimmering and an inky light that was run up and down the system to give it reflections. Now, the stop-motion troglodyte figurine used in the film was later cannibalized to make the Calabos creature in Harryhausen's 81 film, Clash of the Titans. Now, Harryhausen originally planned for Arsenitorium to make an appearance in the film. The massive two-horned prehistoric rhinoceros-like creature was intended to fight the troglodyte, but Harryhausen did pre-production designs showing the beast defeat the troglodyte, then getting caught and dying in a pool of hot tar. Harryhausen also said he planned to have Sinbad and his crew fight a Yeti in the Arctic, but the idea was ultimately rejected in favor of the giant walrus. Now, the film was notable too for a nude sunbathing scene by Jane Seymour. According to Schneer, the nudity came about in the development of the picture. I wanted to keep up with those elements that have become plausible. Now, there's been the Blu-ray came out, limited edition, a couple of years ago, and critical reception of this was quite interesting. Released in the same summer, original Star Wars, it did suffer in comparison to that science fiction epic. Reviewer Lawrence Van Gelder, writing for the New York Times, called her acting rudimentary, but found the film enjoyable. This latest Sinbad adventure maintains the innocent and juvenile charm of the others in the series. Now, he said, it is. Some reviewers said it was a fast-paced 2 hours. Now, only costs $5.5 million to make, made about $20 million, so they knew it was going to be money. Now, Some modern reviewers find the stop motion lackluster compared to previous Harryhausen films. Harryhausen biography Roy P. Weber found the ghouls wholly derivative of the skeleton warriors from Jason and the Argonauts, with a head strongly reminiscent of the Selenites from Harryhausen's 1964 effort, First Men in the Moon. Now, other effects in the films have also been criticized. Some noted that the traveling mats used in the film to include various film elements are very poorly done, and the special effects used to show Zenobia transforming into Gull are so bad it is truly laughable. However, some aspects of the film has received enduring praise. Some noted that the baboon animation was so good that many people were fooled into believing a real animal had been used. The battle between the troglodyte and the Smilodon is much better choreographed than the battle between the one-eyed centaur and the griffin and the golden voyage of Sinbad, and much more dramatic, with the cat actually raking with its claws and biting with its teeth, leaving deep wounds on its opponent. So, there was a Drive in the North Shore showed both these movies back to back, I think in the summer of '79, and it was a sellout. It's probably one of the most important, late era drive-in movies. Where you got the Harryhausen aspect and the Sinbad aspect. But Patrick Wayne, God bless him, he tried his best, but just like his father, he wasn't a good actor. He was just Patrick Wayne. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing here with our Sinbad tributes, this is our third in the last few days because we've been covering some aspects of that 73 original. If you like what you're doing here, give us a like, comment, subscribe, or share. And don't forget, requests for the channel are always highly anticipated and always highly considered. Have a good one.